Okay, we want to find the slope of these 2 points so that, we could then graph them. We could do all kinds of stuff. We could write an equation. The idea is we want to find the slope. So what is our slope formula? Well, our slope formula, which this is one of those formulas that I would definitely recommend you memorize. And honestly, you're going to use it so much you're going to. So write it down somewhere and make sure you're keeping it. So slope is the change in y, so y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So this is the change in y over the change in x, and y is always on top, x is in bottom. Now here's the thing. I'm going to obviously make this x1, y1, and this is x2, y2. It does not matter which one you do. If I flip-flop these, you're going to get the same answer. The big thing, though, is make sure you're going y to y, x to x. When I look at this, I do 5 minus a minus 1. So there's my y2, there's my y1. And just to prove it, I'm going to do this both ways. Prove that doesn't matter. Now, it does matter that you are consistent. So on this one, now I'm going to do my x's. I have to start here, negative 6 minus 3. This one's going to be 3 minus a negative 6. So the big thing is when I look down one of these, this should be one of the points, okay? So when I look vertically, they should be points. Horizontally, it's the y's and then the x's. Vertically is each point in line. So you can see this right here is this point. You'll also know, and this is important, are these parentheses. These parentheses are hugely important, okay? Even though there is a negative in the formula, that does not mean you get to leave the negative out of your work. And a lot of people seem to think, oh, I don't need to reuse them. Yes, you do, okay? So this negative is from the formula. This negative is from my point. Make sure you have them both. So up here, I end up with positive, right? 6. And then that's going to be negative 9. And over here, I would end up with negative 6 over positive 9. In both cases, you can see we got the exact same answer as I promised. Now, this does reduce just like any fraction. So this, I would write this as, I'm going to divide both by a 3, and I would write this as negative 2/3. Okay, so it's important that there's a lot of pieces. It's not a complicated formula. It's not scary, but there are a lot of touch points that you can make mistakes on. So the big thing is to be aware of them. Make sure you're using those parentheses, making sure you are going x to x, y to y, you're keeping within the same points. Lots of little places to make small errors. So you need to make sure, I would keep this formula right next to you as you're doing your homework, and you're going to memorize it because you're going to use it so much. But keep it right there, keep refreshing, keep looking at it, making sure you've got all the pieces in the right place. And if it helps you, color code them. As I said, it doesn't matter which way you go, it just matters that you are consistent. So when you look vertically, they're always that same point.